Thank you, Worship. First, I'd like to acknowledge my elders past and present and elders that are emerging in the community, and this meeting is conducted on Noongar country. Ngalak nyining kurulong kurungalak noich nija Noongar boja. Noongar murat jerp and nyining nija ngalak kwabadok Noongar boja kurulong. From the beginning of time to the end, this is Noongar country. Noongar people have been graceful keepers of our nation for many, many years. Ngala jerp and mama boja ngalak bala mama kwab. Ngala kurt jerp and nija ngala maima nyining Noongar boja. We respect the earth, our mother, and understand that we belong to her. She does not belong to us. In all her beauty, we find comfort, well-being, and life that creates a home for everyone that has become a keeper of Noongar country. Jinadin karajin jerpa nija wern Noongar boja ngala maya borda. Look, listen, understand, and embrace all the elements of Noongar country that is forever our home. Kai wanju ngan Barry Winma wajak baladon marman ngan kurt jerpan nunuk nija Noongar boja dajli wangani noich Noongar ninga boja. Hello and welcome. My name is Barry Winma. I'm a Wajak Baladong man. My heart is happy as we're gathered on Noongar country and speaking here tonight on Noongar country. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge that we meet here on the land of the Noongar people and pay our respects to their elders past, present and future emerging leaders. I'd now like again to call upon Councillor Winmar to read the dedication.
May we, the elected members of the City of Kwinana, have the wisdom to consider all matters before us with due consideration, integrity and respect for the Council Chamber. May the decisions made be in good faith and always in the best interests of the greater Kwinana community that we serve.
Thank you. Item 4, attendance and apologies previously approved. We have a leave of absence from Councillor Dennis Wood. Item 5, public question time. There are no members of the public present. There is nothing in item 6, 6.2, 6.3 takes us to item 7, confirmation of minutes of our meeting held on the 11th of May. Are there any questions with those minutes? If not, we have a recommendation. Moved Councillor S. Wood, seconded Councillor Kearney. Thank you. Anybody wish to speak for those minutes? Against? Put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. Item 8, declarations of interest. Would anybody like to declare a declaration of interest?
Yes, thank you, Worship. In item 17.1, the JDAP item, as I'm a member of the JDAP and will be determining that in due course.
Thank you, Councillor Rouse. I also have the same interest to declare an impartiality interest as a member of the JDAP who will be considering this item. Secondly, the applicant is Coogee Chemicals as an industry member of Kwinana Industries Council, and Kwinana Industries Council is my husband's employer. Thank you. Are there any other declarations to declare? If not, item 9, request for leave of absence. Nil. There's nothing in item 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 or 16. So we go to the main agenda. Item 17.1 is the Joint Development Assessment Panel application, proposed fuel tanks on lot 2 and 3 Kwinana Beach Road, Kwinana Beach. Are there any questions of the CEO or the officers on this item? Would somebody like to move the item? Moved Councillor Winmar. Seconded Councillor S. Wood. Councillor Winmar, do you wish to speak on the item?
No, thank you.
Councillor Wood?
No, thank you.
Anybody wish to speak against the item? I shall put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? So carried. Thank you. Item 18.1 is our corporate business plan minor review for 2022. Are there any questions of the CEO or officers? There is a recommendation there. Would somebody like to move that way? Move Deputy Mayor. Second, Councillor Rouse. Deputy Mayor, do you wish to speak on the item? Councillor Rouse. Anybody wish to speak against? I shall put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? So carried. Item 18.2 are accounts for payment for the month ending 30 of April. Are there any questions on any of those accounts? If not, we have a recommendation. Would somebody like to move that way? Move Councillor Winmar. Seconded Councillor Brown. Councillor Winmar, do you wish to speak on the item? No, thank you. Councillor Brown. Anybody wish to speak against? I shall put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? So carried. Item 18.3 is budget variations. There's a few variations there for some exciting items. Would somebody like... Are there any questions? If not, would somebody like to move it? Move Deputy Mayor. Seconded Councillor Rouse. Deputy Mayor, do you wish to speak on the item?
Yes, Your Worship. Just very briefly, as you alluded to, it is a very exciting item on here. The Billy Goat turf cutter. You thought I was going to say something else. This particular item actually will assist the parks teams when there's fairly significant issues at council ovals, which there currently actually is at Kelly Park and Aurelia Oval, where there was a fungus that's actually taken hold of the turf. That this will allow the depot staff to actually inlay some turf that they've cut from around the outside of those ovals. And obviously the more exciting thing is that finally after 60-something years we're going to air condition Medina Hall, Your Worship.
Thank you. Just a question on that. Is it reverse cycle? Heating and air conditioning?
Through you, Madam Chair. Yes, the air conditioning is reverse cycle. Would you like an explanation as to reverse cycle?
Yes, please.
I'll pass that over to the Director.
No, you'd like to tell us all about it.
Through you, Your Worship. Yeah, we have worked with our air conditioning contractor and come up with a way to install a split system. So I think there's 6 or 8 split systems that will go around the building, so full reverse cycle.
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you. Councillor Rouse? Anybody wish to speak against? Put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? So moved. But I'd just also like to comment as well about the Challenger Beach ablution. We have listened to certainly the community in relation to the need to upgrade those ablutions, make it a priority because of the issues that have been experienced there. So it's great to see this item being passed with some really good outcomes for the community with all of those items. So thank you for that. And it's passed by an absolute majority. Sorry. There's nothing that I know of. There's no notices of motions. There's nothing on item 20. There's no items of late business. We go to elected members' reports. Deputy Mayor.
Nothing to report, Your Worship. I can report that I am now closed 3 after 7 days.
Thank you. Councillor Winmar.
Yeah, nothing to report, Your Worship.
Councillor Rouse.
Yes, thank you. Just briefly, Your Worship, on Wednesday the 18th of March I attended the Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting. This was the first time for many years that the BFAC has met, and we're so very excited to get this up and running again. It was attended by Rod D. San Miguel, who's our Emergency Services Coordinator and Chief Bushfire Officer, and Stuart Martin, who's our Manager of Essential Services, so and as well as the officers from Mandoglup and Kwinana South Fire Brigade. So we were just a very informal meeting, just working out our terms of reference and who they would like to attend, and the scheduled meetings, and we've decided that those meetings will be held before our LEMAC meeting, so we can feed any essential items into that meeting. So thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you for that. Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I've recently had the opportunity to represent the Mayor and the City at the Kwinana Swimming Club's annual Trophy Night. It was a real privilege to be there to celebrate what has been an absolutely fantastic year for the members, the coaches and all the friends and family that support these swimmers who work incredibly hard to perfect their form and prepare for these competitions. I had the opportunity to say a few words at the event, and during my speech I spoke about how the city and this council recognises the importance of what this club does each and every day, that everyone involved should be proud to be part of a club that builds a sense of community, part of a club that provides a place for our residents to learn how to excel as an individual and as a team, and of course part of a club that promotes an active and healthy lifestyle. There's no doubt that community groups such as the Kwinana Swim Club play a crucial role in building the foundation for a thriving and connected city, one that's underpinned by these support networks and opportunities to get involved and work towards a common goal with our neighbours. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of the Kwinana Swimming Club award recipients and congratulate the club as a whole for everything it has achieved over the past year. I would also like to thank the club for what was a really warm welcome at the event, and I'll pass on here that the swimming club expressed their thanks and appreciation to the city for the $1,000 club development grant they were recently awarded through the Love My Kwinana Engagement Hub, as well as the ongoing support the city has provided over many years. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. But more importantly, Councillor Brown, did they sign you up for their senior swimming?
Working on getting me in the pool more frequently, Your Worship.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Wood.
I've performed all those duties required of me. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Kearney.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. I appreciate it's been a bit of a quiet time at the moment, but looking ahead at our future appointments, it looks like business is going to be picking up again soon, which is great. Just a couple of announcements similar to Deputy Mayor. I've been out of the office for 7 days isolating with COVID, but life still goes on, and thank goodness we do have lots of Teams meeting and the ability to work off-site. Really just can't pass the opportunity up to say the outcome of the election. Congratulations to Madeline King, re-elected successfully as the member for Brand. And in the lead up to the election, of course, there were some significant pre-election commitments in relation to the club room on Medina Thomas Kelly. And so we now look forward to having that club room being upgraded, which is now the NRL junior, home of the junior NRL teams in the South Metropolitan area. So look forward to the certain improvements that are coming through. I also congratulated Madeline. I've also congratulated Tracy Roberts, Tracy being the former now, Mayor of Wanneroo, but also for a long time, for 2 years, she was the president of the West Australian Local Government Association, and she took on a big gamble giving up the presidency of Welga to contest the seat, but it certainly paid off, and I know that we will have a friend in Canberra in Tracy and also in Madeline as well. We have prepared congratulatory letters for many of those successful candidates who we deal with through our Southwest group, and as always look forward to working with them all in what will be, I think, a very interesting first year of government for them. Just in relation to the Kwinana senior citizens, I went to the launch of their Heritage Wall last Friday, a really great event. A lot of, if you get the opportunity to go there and have a look at the Heritage Wall, but I just wanted to touch upon, which flows from that, there's the Australia's biggest morning tea coming up there on Friday, being hosted by the senior citizens. Unfortunately, there was a break-in recently, and most of the prizes that had been accumulated there by Pauline Harditch and many of the hard-working ladies who had put together the morning tea were all stolen. So they've really had a big blow to them. So if you do have the opportunity to have something that you might consider wanted to donate, you've got until Friday to do it. I dropped in some gifts for Pauline to donate on Friday, and I said I'd put a shout out, so if anybody knows, if you have something at home that you think you might wish to donate, please think of them. It's a really good cause, and I know that they've all been devastated with that amount of goods just taken on by some selfish people. So that's a bit of a sad thing, but the show will go on. I believe it's absolutely packed out, so they're really upbeat about the day itself. And I'm sure they will raise some really good funds for a worthy cause. Today was National Simultaneous Storytime Reading, and I had the opportunity to read an Australian authored and illustrated book called The Family Tree by Josh Pike and Ronna Joy Gosh. And that was at the Kwinana Library with many little people from Leader Primary School. It was a delightful event. Councillor Kearney also popped in. There was Karak, the mascot for Let's Read Kwinana. And I'd just like to pass on my sincere thanks to all the staff at the Kwinana Library. They do a fantastic job with the activities that they had on board. They really get behind these events. So those are my very brief comments tonight, which I'll table. Yeah, okay, sorry, it wasn't here. Sorry, very important announcement that, of course, tomorrow is National Sorry Day, and then it launches into Reconciliation Week. There is an event tomorrow at Thomas Kelly Oval starting at 10 a.m, which the CEO, myself, and you're all invited to attend, a community event. So I look forward to seeing those there who can make it. It is a very important day in the calendar for our community and our Indigenous community throughout Australia. There's nothing further to announce. There are no confidential items. I therefore close the meeting at 6:46. 6:45. 5. I'm looking at 6 o'clock. Sorry. Well, I've got 2 clocks here for those who are listening, viewing in the audience. So I'm going from one to the other. So 5:46. Thank you. Thank you for your attendance.